Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Yard Guy. Hey, I'll be happy if I get 10 views per video. I think I got put into internet timeout. Like, people don't want to hear about conspiracy theory stuff. I was just watching the news, and I don't think I'm gonna do a floating head this week. I just didn't feel like putting on the green shirt, the long sleeve. It was so freaking hot today. We tied the record. I don't know about Denver tied the record. Fort Collins was like 96. It was so hot. I'm giving the lawn a drink of water after I mowed it because it was crunchy in certain areas. But anyway, I was just sitting there watching the news and I got triggered by this segment about Trump and the Philadelphia Eagles and how there's this big dispute about kneeling and all this stuff. And I kind of think Trump is turning this country into Nazi Germany. Like, I've always said that the Nazis won the war. They just moved to America, Operation Paperclip. We assimilated a bunch of those scientists and engineers. So how did they lose? How do you lose if you're like doing the most heinous shit and then you get new identity and new job and, I better hurry up before I run out of battery. But anyway, Trump is talking about the whole kneeling thing, and like the NFL and the players are like, well, if we want to protest, we should be able to stay in the locker room. And Trump's like, well, staying in the locker room is just as bad as kneeling. It's just stupid drama back and forth on Twitter, which I can't believe we have a president that's what this country has like divulged into. It's like just digressed into is Twitter and fake news and blue screens and green screens. Like CNN has been busted for doing that, especially during the Iraq war. They were faking stuff all the time. It was hilarious. But Trump, man, turning this country into straight up Nazi Germany, where if you don't stand up, you are against us. What? Like, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and we never saluted the flag. We never did the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, I've never sang the national anthem, even though I probably know it by heart. But to say that, I mean, if there's any Jehovah's Witnesses playing in the NFL, guess what? They're in a tough spot right now. Like, you can say bye-bye to that paycheck. But I think you should have the right to stand up or sit down. That's what people go. That's why you go to war in this country. Bill Hicks, I wonder what he'd be saying right now. Oh my God, if that comedian was still alive. He's the one who said, he had somebody come up to him after his stand-up one time. He's like, hey, buddy, I have a little problem with you disrespecting America or whatever it was. He's like, my dad went to war for that flag. And he's like, no, he didn't. Your dad went to war for the right to burn the flag. A lot of people miss that. You go to war for the right to sit down if you don't agree with what the government is doing.
People are going, hey, buddy, let me tell you something. My daddy died for that flag. Really? I bought mine. Yeah, they sell them at Kmart and shit. Yeah, $3. He died in the Korean War for that flag. What a coincidence. Mine was made in Korea. Didn't die for a fucking flag. It's a piece of cloth. He died for what the flag represents, which is the freedom to burn the fucking flag. And as my friend Jimmy Pineapple would say, case fucking closed.
But, like I said, I believe the Nazis won the war. Even the Simpsons make fun of it. There's this one episode where Bart is trying to disprove the Coriolis effect because he lost the bathroom products race with Lisa. He's like, darn water, if it was spinning the other way, I would have won the race. And Lisa's like, the water only spins the other way in the southern hemisphere. He's like, what the hell is the southern hemisphere? And she shows him like all these countries. And so he starts calling these countries. And one of the countries, he calls a car phone. And it's this old guy looking like Hitler walking up to this Mercedes-Benz. And on the license plate, it says Adolf. And he's going, eine Minuten. And as he picks up the phone, there's a guy riding by on a bicycle, one of those big bicycles, and he gives him the Heil. And he's like, Buenos noches, mein Führer. Like, they escaped Argentina. They made a movie that's probably still on YouTube called Boys from Brazil. It's a very interesting movie. I'm not going to get into trying to explain that, but I highly recommend you go check that one out. It was super hot today. I know I said that. I was going to sit down and talk about some comedy. This is actually the last bit of comedy that I wrote. And to give you an idea, actually, my friend Sean watches this channel, so this would be kind of funny. This is how old this is. No, I can't. Anyway, I started off with congratulating them on their engagement, and they are due any day now with their first child. I got like midway through this, and Carla started crying, and that's why I gave up on comedy. I'm trying to make my stuff more mom friendly, so we'll see. Carla left for a few days last week for some conference. She's going to a conference like tomorrow. I think I lost a few pounds. Myself and the dog just starved because food lady is gone. All I do is sit around and jerk off. The dog has it a little better. He can at least give himself a blowjob. Anybody that's ever dog-sitted for us knows he likes to get at it. He must be bored because he doesn't have any balls. Carla cut those off right away. I actually enjoyed her trip away this time. Right before she was about to walk out the door and leave for the airport, I hear her in the bathroom. "Ah, my period started." Then she comes walking out with a fistful of tampons in her hand and a grumpy look on her face, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I'm gonna miss Shark Week." Speaking of period blood, we gotta get some new shampoo. That's where Carla started to cry. She's like, "That's what you think of me, isn't it? Isn't it? Food lady." I was like, "Oh, come here." I was like, "Sure, there's truth in comedy, but, I'm just kidding." Let me see what's in the news. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff that I wanted to talk about. Besides oh, yeah. This is hilarious. Not this one. Oh, yeah, why not? Maker of fearsome animal robots slowly emerges from stealth. It has never been clear whether robotics company Boston Dynamics is making killing machines, household helpers, or something else entirely. For 9 years, the secretive firm, which got its start with U.S. military funding, has unnerved people around the world with YouTube videos of experimental robots resembling animal predators. In one, a life-size robotic wildcat sprints across a parking lot at almost 20 miles an hour. In another, a small-wheeled rover nicknamed Sand Flea abruptly flings itself onto rooftops and back down again. A more recent effort features a slender dog-like robot that climbs stairs, holds its own in a tug-of-war with a human, and opens a door to let another robot pass. God, I remember this stand-up that I went and saw Bill Burr live in Cincinnati, and that's where I got some of the robot jokes, like, why do you get to hold the remote? He was talking about robots. He was talking about this stuff in his stand-up, and it was really heavy conspiracy theory, a lot heavier than any of his Netflix specials, which are pretty funny. But he was talking about the running toaster and stuff. He's like, why are you making those things stronger and stronger than us? He's like, don't do that. He's like, until what? One day you're sitting there on the couch and he looks at you like, why do you get to hold the remote? I thought that was pretty funny. So that was not my joke. I don't want to take credit for that. But Boston Dynamics, man. Geez, they got this one robot called Atlas that's pretty freaking big. That's what's going to happen. We're going to build our own demise. We're going to build these robots, and they're going to come to kill us all, right? And it's going to be like that scripture where Jesus said, unless those days were cut short, no souls would be saved. And then we're going to have a giant solar flare, and it's going to wipe out all the electronics on the earth, and it's going to wipe out all of the robots and all the little computer chips. We're going to go back to the Stone Age, and the only thing that's going to look the same is me and my beard. And you're going to be like, hey, yard guy, like, I told you, didn't I tell you? The sun, Jesus was all a metaphor for the sun, the solar flare. Didn't I tell you? Ha ha. Talk to you guys next week. See ya.
Eine Minute. Ach, das Wagenphone ist eine Nuisance-Phone.
Buenos noches, mein Führer.
Ja, ja.